Welcome back to the Jazz Blast podcast. Tonight we look back at the win against Atlanta, 111-106, against a feisty Hawks team that really wanted to win after losing big to the New York Knicks. So let's jump right into it. Let's start off with the play of the game.
And yes, this is a cohesive unit defensively. Utah is pretty good, but one-on-one with Trey is giving them problems. How about that pass? Mitchell to Gobert.
So as you can tell from that highlight, it looked like the Jazz were really clicking. Despite kind of trading the lead with the Hawks for most of the night, Donovan, as has become usual, was able to finish in the clutch big for us and ended up with 30 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. And then Rudy pitched in 20 points, 13 rebounds. And that was really huge. He's just really a force. Get rebounds, especially defensive rebounds, where we're kind of wanting to get the rebound and run and not let teams get second chance points. So really big game from both of them. Bojan Bogdanovic pitched in 19 points, had 9 rebounds, and Joe Ingles had 14 points, 5 assists. So really good all-around game for our starters, and that was kind of what helped us eventually win the game, is just that we had a better starting 5 than the Hawks did. If you look at the plus-minus, Bojan and Rudy were both plus 16. Royce was plus 15. Joe Ingles plus 8. Donovan was actually just even. But then you go ahead and look at our bench guys, and Jeff Green's minus 11. George Niang minus 12. Ed Davis minus 11. And Moutier plus 4. So he's kind of keeping us in it. But that's why it was so close, is because as soon as we went to the bench, we gave up leads and our defense wasn't as good and we weren't scoring. So good to see our starters come back in at the end of the game and just seal the deal for us. Not a great... I mean, Trae Young was playing well. Not sure how efficient it is to have him take. It seemed like he just took a ton of shots. Let's see. Took 28 shots. Went 9 for 28. Scored 30 points, though. Going 9 for 11 from the free throw line. And he played 41 minutes. So that's really what the Hawks have, is Trae Young. And that's about it. But Herter ended up with 17 points. Cam Reddish had 14. Jabari Parker had 23 points just playing 24 minutes. So they had guys step up big, but that was kind of to be expected, especially after their previous game. They lost to the New York Knicks. They let the Knicks score like 143 points, if I remember right. And so we knew they were going to be feisty. We were playing in Atlanta, and so they did. They played hard, but at the end of the day, despite our not great shooting, we only shot 25% from 3, where we're normally shooting about 42% on the season, and going 47% from the field. It just came down to we have Donovan Mitchell and we have other guys that are going to make plays and hit shots at the end of games. One interesting stat that David Locke was sharing at the end of the radio broadcast was Rudy is in the top 4 for points per minute in the clutch. And those top 4 players are James Harden, Kyrie Irving, Joel Embiid, and Donovan Mitchell. So kind of cool to see a third-year player not only taking those shots at the end of games, but making them and really closing out games for us. And that's been huge lately, especially these last couple games we saw against the Magic. Donovan and Bojan were able to close out the game, get us a win against a team that was kind of making a run late, and now being able to push us over the edge and seal the victory against the Hawks. So, interesting couple games. It's, of course, not great seeing Conley just on the sideline in street clothes, but we got to overcome it. And so Donovan really led the way with 30 points. tough game as far as just kind of as we've gotten used to, our bench guys not really playing well as far as plus minus goes and just giving up leads and letting teams hang in there when their bench guys come on the floor. So, of course, this brings up the point, what do the Jazz change? And we saw a couple, they didn't play, but a couple G League guys, Brantley, Mione, even though the G League is having their big showcase right now, they're with the team traveling, so we'll see if they get any playing time. But at the end of the day, you kind of got to have enough guys to fill a roster, so that may be why they're on the trip, of course. But we'll see what Quinn does as we're playing kind of some of these teams that, let's just say, aren't the cream of the crop as far as the NBA goes. We'll see if he mixes them in to try and switch things up and see what works as far as lineups are concerned while Conley's out. But at the end of the day, it's a win. A win is a win. And so good to see the Jazz pull it out despite kind of a bunch of lead changes with the Hawks. But we moved to 17-11, still 6th in the West. We're kind of in a pocket where we're 2 games behind, but we're ahead enough where we're kind of sitting pretty there at the 6th spot. Hopefully with these the upcoming schedule, we play the Hornets next. We're on the road for a little bit, but hopefully we can string together a few wins, help our record kind of go on a win streak and push us closer to the 5 and 4 spots. Because at the end of the day, we're wanting to contend, get home court in the playoffs if we can, and we really need to win these games. So nice to see them pull out against the Hawks and get the victory despite kind of all the energy they had coming off their loss and us being on the road. So good win. On to the Hornets, and we get another victory in our city uniforms. So nice to see us going with the city uniforms instead of all the yellow jerseys, as everybody who's superstitious will know we're trying to avoid those. So good win for the Utah Jazz. Donovan Mitchell, like I said, with 30 points, leads the way, leads us to victory in the clutch, and tough to see them struggling to really blow out teams as we'd hoped they would be doing, but at least we got the win. So on to the Hornets. Go Jazz.